Just going to show you in this video about the shape blur tool, and that can be found in the filter menu. The shape blur uses custom shapes, really quite useful. Use custom shapes over here, but you can also use them in the shape blur, and it can be used to create some really good blurring effects, ones that are pretty unique. Now you can just apply it. I'm just going to go to filter, blur and shape blur, and you get a little preview, and also you can actually set the preview to be on there as well. It does take a few seconds to process, and depending on the actual blur size, I'm just going to reduce that down a little bit. Right, and obviously then you've got all the various shapes. These, like I say, graphic extra shapes, but you could use any sort of shape you want, and depending on the shape selected will actually generate a different type of blur effect. Now sometimes some of the best ones are the odd ones, like just a very thin line, and you can actually see the effect of the shape blur. You can actually see the crisscross design. Now there's no actual blur filter that can do that other than this shape blur, so it's very useful tool. Now you've actually got designs in here. Of course you can actually apply the shape blur, and I'm just going to quickly apply that shape blur, and you can also of course modify the actual shape. So I'm just going to quickly go over here, and I'm going to select a shape, and I'm just going to go shape. That's the key thing, actually have it as a vector, because when it's a vector you can actually just quickly modify the actual design. Just use the direct selection tool, and you can actually just modify that design. So if you want to really stretch it out, maybe it creates a very unusual design, so you don't have to actually go with the actual shapes you've got. You can actually of course quickly create your own shape. So once that's actually done, you can now go to define custom shape, and you will see this custom shape in here. Click OK. Now let's just get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that actual blur, and I can now go over to filter, blur, shape blur, and you will see the actual design that we've just created just quickly down here. And this blur obviously can be now applied to create a different type of blur, and I'm just going to increase it this time. Click OK, and of course you can still modify the blur further by applying like a fade via the edit menu. That's the quickest, easiest way to remodify, actually once you've applied the effect. Of course you could also apply the effect on a layer and then modify that blending mode as well. So I'm just going to now just go to edit, fade, shape blur, and maybe just darken or lighten to create sort of unusual ghostly like effects. Hope you found this quick tutorial